Hey, what's up, guys? Adolfo here. I have a very, very important guest today, Mr. Vernell. Vernell is a credit expert and is a fellow member of Modern Success. Vernell, how are you doing today?
Hey, what's up, Adolfo? I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Now, Vernell, no, for people who don't know you, you've been in the credit repair industry for a good time now. Now, can you share with us your story? How do you get into credit and why?
Right. So, almost right after high school, one of my mom's friends was working for a credit repair company. It's like a network marketing type of company where you recruit people. And she had recruited my mom, and I wanted to get involved because I knew a little bit about credit. At 18, I got my first credit card and did that whole thing. And I started promoting the product, and I was selling good. I was doing about $10,000 a month in business,
Wow.
and I was moving the product. I was selling the product, and then my aunt ended up getting sued, dealing with the company, and on a car loan that she had. I think it was 15 years ago for $20,000, and ended up getting her wages garnished due to how the company went about disputing her account. And this is a couple months in. I'm already doing well. I'm pretty much at my peak right now, and
Mhm.
I get that information. And then two more people let me know that they're getting sued for $10,000 a piece on old accounts. So after that, I realized I was like, okay, I can't be a part of this company. And then I started to learn everything I could about credit repair and the industry so I could figure out why exactly they got sued, why so many other people are getting sued, and how to prevent it when it comes to credit repair. And I did a lot of research. I paid a lot of money for programs from the best people in the credit repair industry. And I like to say I cracked the code. I figured out why exactly they got sued and
Mhm.
what doesn't get you sued and what actually gets you results.
Okay. Oh, that sounds good. Now, since you mentioned that about your family member being sued and two other people that you were working with,
Yeah.
what's something that you will tell people to be aware about or to be looking after? Because there's a lot of companies out there that claim to repair your credit. I heard through someone that there's some people that even guarantee certain FICO score after so much time. So, what's some tips that you can give to people?
Some tips is look at the letters that you want to get the letters that the credit repair company is sending. You want to make sure the letters have the proper verbiage in them that will actually get the account removed instead of getting the account reset, what I call it, especially if you're having disputing something that is near the statute of limitations, and that's just the amount of time someone can take legal action against you. And a lot of the times the account, let's say the statute of limitations on when you can get sued, or the period of time when you can get sued is 5 years, and it's been on your credit report for 10 years. When you send a letter that says this is not my account, because the statute of limitations isn't designed for credit and debt, it can be considered activity on that account and reset the time clock on that account if you send letters that say this is not my account, or the company you work with sends letters that say this is not my account. Because if it is verified that it is your account, then that's when you get sued.
No, no, makes sense. Makes sense. Thanks, Vernell. Now, let's just say someone has bad credit, right?
Right.
So, what's the first step they need to do about fixing the credit?
You want to know where exactly you're at and why you're there. If you can get a credit monitoring service that gives you a pretty detailed analysis of exactly what is keeping your score down,
Hmm.
then you know where you're at, so you know where you can go. You got to have a start point. You got to realize what got you here, and it's not going to be overnight that you fix your credit. Look at your credit, come to terms with it. You've been through a lot more difficult things than just numbers or letters on a screen. So you can face the music on where you're at as far as your credit. Look at where you're at and make a plan for where you're going.
Okay, makes sense. Now, of course, I highly recommend people to hire a professional like yourself or anyone who's they're comfortable with. But this is another question related to what you were talking about. So let's just say I get put into collections by a credit card company, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say that this debt is actually not mine; it's someone else's. So how can we go about removing this from our credit?
Right. If the debt isn't actually yours, then yes, that would be the appropriate time to use "this is not my account" type of letter, because it would be the truth. The times where "this is not my account," the letters get people sued is in the scenario of it is yours. But if it truly isn't yours, there's no way they can sue you on it, because there's no way they can prove that it's yours if it's genuinely not yours.
Man, I wish I knew this. You know what happened in my family? My mom and my sister have the same name. So my
Uh-huh.
sister has debt. My mom doesn't. So she got a letter. My mom got a letter saying that no, she was being put in collections and blah blah blah. And by that time, I believe my sister was out of the country. So I was trying to help her figuring out like what is this, right? This was like maybe 3 years ago. We got to settle, but we had to pay someone to help us.
Mm.
It was. I wish you would have been around, man. Cool. So another question for now. So talking about collections, let's just say I have some debt. Goes into collections. I don't pay it, and now what's the first thing to do, or what's the best approach about this? Should I just pay it off, or what should I do?
The best approach when it comes to collections is you want to make sure that all the communication with the collection agency is actually through mail. You don't want to accept any calls from any collection agency. And if you are going to pay that debt, the
Mm-hmm.
first thing you want to do is make sure that you're not giving any signed documents to the collection agency. So what they'll do is they'll forge your signature and say that you signed to pay something and take you to court for it. Or if you give them your banking information in order to pay a certain account, let's say it's $1,000 and you guys settle, you guys agree that 400 is fine. And you give them your banking information, what they're going to do is they're going to take that whole $1,000 out of your account. So you
Wow.
want to pay with either a money order or a prepaid Visa gift card.
That's very important information. I appreciate that, Vernell. So you're saying that if there's a debt and it's in collection, there's a chance for someone to actually fight it and settle for, let's just say, less than what they owe?
Yeah, debt settlement. And there's a way, if you pay that account in full, what I do for my clients is we put together a pay for deletion letter. So we negotiate with the collection agency and say, hey, you're claiming, we never admit to the debt when it comes to a collection agency, but we say, hey, you're claiming that we owe X, Y, and Z in order to resolve this and get this off of my credit report and to satisfy you guys' claims. What we're going to do is we're going to pay you the balance in full, and you guys remove it off the credit report indefinitely.
Awesome. That's great. Now, so what if someone goes through a BK, right? Chapter 13, and I have a potential client actually right now he happened to file for bankruptcy less than 2 years ago. And he's asking me, what can I do to build my credit back up, because he actually wants to buy a house. So what advice can you give to these people?
My advice for if you're going through a bankruptcy, after the bankruptcy has finished and you've gotten all the documentation and everything has taken place,
Mm-hmm.
what you want to do is dispute certain aspects of the bankruptcy on your credit report and make sure it's reporting 100% accurately. Now, you want to make sure the date filed and everything that is attached and was discharged in the bankruptcy is off your credit report, or it's been marked as discharged on your credit report. You want to make sure that everything that was supposed to be included in the bankruptcy was, and then you look for some simple credit building products. So if you are renting right now and you're looking to get into a home and you've been renting at your current apartment or at your current home, wherever you live, you've been living there for 2-3 years, you can get that rental history reported to your credit report as if you were paying on a mortgage and build your credit that way. And then after you have that trade line, you can start off with a secured card, which will be a credit card where you put down $500. They'll give you a limit of $500, and after you've proven responsible with that card, they will return that $500 deposit to you.
Okay, Vernell. So now you're going through this process now. Do you think people can do this by themselves, or should they hire someone like you to help them with this?
You can definitely do it by yourself, but the only thing is when there's certain responses you get from the credit bureaus, and there's certain tricks and hacks, I guess you would say, that will take you a long time to figure out, and you would have to figure it out from being in back and forth with the credit bureaus and really studying the laws of the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You would have to really be in tune with that to get the result that you want 9 out of 10 times. Now, could you do it on your own and use templates and invest in programs? For sure, you can. And we offer a do-it-yourself program for people who prefer to do it themselves and don't want to give up their social security number or don't want to compromise any of their information. That's fine. We 100% understand that. But just keep in mind, there are tricks of the trade that you learn from actually being engaged in it.
Oh yeah, and just like, hold up, let me get up, okay? I'm sitting and, all right. No, yeah, so definitely, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Just like people want to do a for sale by owner, right? And then never saw a home before, it's better to go with an expert unless, or you can take your own risk and do it yourself, right?
Right, there's a risk involved.
Okay, perfect. Vernell, so I think I already asked you this, but I just want to go more in detail. Can anyone in your industry guarantee a certain FICO score, or can they guarantee an outcome after so many days?
Absolutely not. There's no way to guess or to 100% predict what the credit bureaus or what the original creditors, collection agencies will do. We can only go based off of what happens the majority of the time, and we can go based off what the law says. We cannot guarantee anyone any specific score because there's so many variables that are involved with having a certain score that sometimes aren't controllable. Like if I were to get bad credit right now and have a bunch of late payments and get them removed, and someone says, hey, come with my company, we'll get you an 800 credit score. Well, there's no way I can have an 800 credit score because I don't have enough credit history to get an 800 credit score. I have to have a certain amount of years. So there's no way to guarantee me that. And there's no guarantee that all the late payments will be removed. Now, will we exercise every right in the book to get it removed? Of course, but there's no 100% on any of this because we have to play the game of responding and really playing chess with the credit bureaus. And that's where someone like myself will come into play.
Awesome. Now, I've been watching some of your videos, okay? And I know you had an interview with Carol not too long ago. And you guys were talking about credit reset. What is that and how does it work?
Oh, credit reset is, let's say you have 5 negative accounts on your credit report.
Okay.
You hire someone like myself to get all those 5 accounts removed. Now, after you get those accounts removed, you have 0 credit score. That would be a credit reset mode. And then it'd be a lot easier to build up back to 700 credit score. You'd pretty much be 2 or 3 approvals away from a 700 plus credit score.
So based on that, you would say that it's a lot better to have no credit than to have bad credit, right?
No credit is bad credit.
Okay.
So, but the only difference about no credit is you're only a couple of approvals away from great credit.
Makes sense. Now, so obviously, I come across people that want to buy houses all the time. What are some things that you recommend they do with their credit before going through that process? Let's just say before talking to a lender. Can you explain a little bit more?
Yeah, you want to be aware of all the different FICO scoring models. So there are 28 different FICO scoring models that each lender uses. So if I go to a mortgage lender, he may pull from mortgage score, FICO mortgage score 8 Experian. and that score may be a 700. But then I go to another lender, and he pulls from Experian FICO 8 mortgage score, and that's a 650. Every scoring model with every bureau is different. They have slight tweaks to them because there's 28 different FICO scores each of us have, and they all have slight differences based on the type of loan you're looking to get. So there's bank card, which would have to do with credit cards, mortgage, and auto, and there's variations of all of them. And together, it's 28 different scores. Now, you want to make sure you know which bureau and which score the lender is going to be pulling from before you walk in, because if they're pulling from your weakest mortgage score, let's say it's Experian, then you want to make sure you go to a lender who's going to pull from your strongest, or ask if they can pull from your strongest score, because 3, 4, 5 points can make a big difference. We want to get every point that we can. So make sure that you know which bureau and which credit score your lender is pulling from.
Perfect. Now, we're talking about purchasing, right? Buying a house or buying a car. Let's just say that someone is either thinking of buying a house or a car. Now, if they check their credit, or if they walk into different banks to check their credit, would that bring their points down, or how does that work?
So we have two different kinds of pulls. We have a soft pull and a hard pull. A soft pull would be you checking your own credit to see where you stand, and a hard pull would be you applying for a credit card to get approved, to get extended a line of credit. 3 to 4 points per each inquiry that you get on your credit report. That means someone checking your credit with the intention of extending you credit. Mm-hmm. And if you go and they do all hard pulls and they just run your credit a bunch, especially at the car dealerships, yeah, it's going to hurt your score usually drastically, because they pull it so many times. What you want to do is make sure, if you're getting a car, you go in with a pre-approval letter from a credit union and say, hey, I have this. So they're not running your credit a bunch of times. And if you're buying a home, you get a 45-day period where you can shop for your loan and the inquiries won't affect you as much.
Okay, that's a very important point. Can you repeat that one more time?
When you're searching for a home, you get a 45-day window where the credit bureaus recognize that you're shopping for a home, and the inquiries that you'll incur during that period of time won't affect you as much as if you were just going out and applying for credit cards.
Awesome. That I have a lot of people asking me the same question, and I'm very glad you brought it up. Now, if you guys didn't know, Vernell here just released a book. Okay, and he also has a credit repair course. So, Vernell, you want to tell people more about your business? Boom, there you go.
Yes, this is my book, Cracking the Code. This is where I break down the scams of the credit repair industry, and I give you the blueprint on how to repair your credit if you want to do it on your own. And I lay out what I call my surge dispute strategy, which you will not find in any other credit repair book. Believe me, I've read all of them, but this book will lay out exactly what to do before you fix your credit, how to fix your credit, and what to do after, which I think is the most important aspect of credit repair, because 73% of people who repair their credit will need their credit repaired again within the next 12 months. Within the next 12 months, they'll need their credit repaired again because they didn't have the right information to sustain a good credit score. They didn't know exactly what they needed to do. That either they got their credit repaired by a company that didn't actually get the negative items removed the correct way, or they got their credit repaired so they can run up more credit card debt because they didn't have the blueprint to what to do after. And this will give you the blueprint to what to do after. And then I'm also selling a credit mastery course, which is this. You can see the strategies that I use in this to get out of debt, to fix people's credit. You can see it be used in real time and apply it for yourself to repair your own credit. And I do coaching calls for people who want to pay down their debt pay down strategies, and I give them all. I just did one today, and a dude who had a little bit of credit card debt, and we're putting together a strategy on how he can get that paid down as soon as possible. So that's a little bit about the information side of the business. But as far as you working with me, we have a done for you program or a done with you program, which would be me just handling all of the disputes for you, or giving you access to a software that will let you upload your credit reports and create the dispute letters and save them in your portal and allow you to really do it on your own, and you'd be able to get professional help as well.
Vernell, hey, I really appreciate you sharing your expertise with us. Now, is there anything else you would like to add? Maybe how can people get a hold of you? You have a website, email, phone number?
Yeah, you can find me at www.fortune800.com. That's the name of my company, Fortune 800 LLC. And you can find us on Instagram, Fortune 800. You can also find me, my personal Instagram, at Vernell Watts _ or email us at support@fortune800.com. Those would be the best ways to contact me.
Awesome. All right. Hey, Vernell, I don't take any more of your time. You take care, and thanks for everything, okay? Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.